It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Commanders. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Commanders. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Bringing him out is the pride of North Dakota State. Now in his 7th NFL season, Carson Wentz.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, the quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give up the middle to Gibson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Wentz. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Really nice effort and an even nicer stop from Marcus May there.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Throwing is Wentz. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. Throwing now is Wentz. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 22.
That's a nice job for a quarterback and receiver. Reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. Back to the ground with Gibson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, Gibson.
Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up a line. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. 68 yards. And the Saints take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Well, so much for the opening drive being capped off by a field goal, CD. It's capped off by a touchdown after all, except I don't think in the manner that we were expecting.
No doubt about that, because you sent me a note earlier in the week saying you thought special teams might play a big role in this one. I don't know that you expected it this early in the game.
No, I didn't. That was a pretty impressive play, and what a way to get their first points. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. Last time, then, a little bit of a special teams breakdown. A field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Straight ahead, Gibson. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Into the red zone, Wentz. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. From 19 yards away. And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and we are tied at 7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Commanding this unit will be the 6'2 quarterback out of BYU. It's Taysom Hill.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is going to lose yardage here. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. Here's Hill, rolling to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. It's a pickup of 19. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Hill. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it, and it's Washington that scoops it up. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Carson Wentz and the Washington offense heading back out. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Hill on 1st down. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Hill. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Off of play action, Hill. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know, the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Commanders back out late in this 1st half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Wentz now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And some room to run now. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And Washington now going to use the 1st of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wentz to throw. Back to Gibson and another catch for him. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wentz. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Holding, offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for Washington, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play fake. Hill. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They're going for it. It's Hill. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
If there's one thing they are lacking in, it's confidence. They took a big and maybe unnecessary risk going for that 4th down. He put them on his shoulders, though, and paid off the big-time gamble.
On 1st and 10, Hill. And this one too low.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Hill. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner, because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Hill now operating from the red zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
On 2nd and 10, Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Pulls it in at the 13. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now Wentz. To the right side and complete to Thomas.
Holding. Offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
To throw, it's Wentz. This to McLaurin out on the left side. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Washington. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story. And oh, it's blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 40, past the 20, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, I think I need an oxygen mask after those last 2 plays, CD. The long touchdown followed by the even longer return on the block PAT.
I wonder if after that long touchdown, if someone actually needed a play off and didn't take it, and maybe that was the breakdown in protection and led to the block.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. Fields it right around the goal line. The Saints coming back out, ready to go for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Hill. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Things started a little slow for him as a runner, but he has really found a different gear here in this second half. He's been more aggressive, challenging the defense when he sees an opportunity, and now he has a 100-yard game to show for it.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Hill looks to throw. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
They go play fake, and it's Hill.
All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. The sack by the linebacker, Jamin Davis. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks in the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Throwing on 1st is Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wentz.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Play action. It's Hill.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
They snap it on 4th to Hill. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Hill throwing once more. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Out of the gun, Hill.
That's out to the flat for Ingram.
And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. The offense on 3rd down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Understanding he's just down 1 possession, trying to make something happen by extending the play, but the coverage downfield was excellent. He escaped and bought some time, but that one goes incomplete.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that 1st down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the 1st.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line.
That one goes for 24 yards.
And that's a much-needed 1st down right there. Look, they're down by 8, so logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Desperation time on 4th for Hill. And he comes back with one complete. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game, rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. The overall.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Now it's Hill. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Saints have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They're going to try and run for it. And he's going to get into the end zone. The 2-point conversion successful, and we've got ourselves a tie football game. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Washington offense set to take over. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
I love how they're tearing the pages out of the so-called book. I wish more teams would do this instead of laying back. Bring pressure in this situation. Go after them a little bit.
The Winston, the Commanders, staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. A handoff for Gibson. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it.
And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. That's caught inside the 20.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the first chance of this overtime will go to Washington as we are back underway.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Third and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. First throw of overtime for Wentz. And that is incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
So call that a 56-yard punt with a return of about 11.
And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old old school, guys. They're like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Hill. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
On 1st down, Hill, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. Washington looking for another timeout, and they get it. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And we will play on here in overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game, and I'll get it done. With this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. To throw is Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 39 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and we will play on here in overtime.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
On 1st and 10, Hill. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And the timeout coming in here with just 7 seconds remaining in the extra session.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Saints.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Hill now to throw. On the move to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another good game. That's now 35 yards combined in those last 2 plays.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And Bourbon Street, it'll be alive tonight. The Saints have won it.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.